me address this. Honestly, guys, black men, I did not know there was that many black men that thought or still think that the black community is a matriarchy. Reading the comments, me and my friends, and I was like, man, I put the statistics out there to show you guys that we don't even meet the expectations of a matriarchy. And that's why I put 3 tribes in there to explain to you guys what a true matriarchy is. The black community has never been a matriarchy. You can feel that way, and under your opinion, based off of how loud some black women are and how society and social media likes to push them to the forefront, that's perfectly fine. But when you guys say a matriarchy, you have to understand what that actually means. And I advise you to do the research on some of the tribes that I showed you guys. The Khan, the ones from from the Pacific Rim countries. Man, I was shocked. I didn't know that, and it was so many guys that was insulting, the content, and I'm like, bro, like, why insult and just learn? If I'm giving you the statistics, man, and I'm showing you what's going on, I don't understand it. But once I took a step back, I started to notice why we're here talking about like RP stuff, and why I'm going to address the comment section, because if you think that the black community is under a matriarchy, I can see why you feel oppressed and you feel held back based off of what in the black community, what black women are doing. And that's why I always say, man, it might be a little slang term, but in California, we like, man, I'm going to get mine regardless. I'm going to get mine. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of guys, you guys may think that the black community is a matriarchy, and you like, man, I can't do anything to change my situation. I'm going to just go ahead and let the women talk. And I'm going to just stay in the comment section and talk mess. I'm like, if that's your way of thinking, that's perfectly fine. But don't spit in the face of my statistics when I'm trying to explain to you guys that we don't fit the narrative or the expectations of a matriarch. We never have. All the stuff that you guys have thought, it's not true, because most of the comments the guys were pointing to black men not being in the house, and I specifically put in there that's a lie, and specifically for the fact when people, and I said this in one of my statistical readouts. We always like to point out to when, welfare hit and black men were supposedly kicked out of the household. And I actually showed you guys the proof. Every time you quote that, you're not even listening to your own answers, to your own responses. Back in the day, in the 70s, between the 60s and 70s, it was only a 24% children out of wedlock rate by black women. Did y'all know that? And during that time, 55 to 60% of black people were married. So how can all black men be deadbeats and out of the house if, the majority were married? And then the children out of wedlock rate was 24%. And people quote that, yeah, back in the day, we were married at a higher rate. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard black people say that. We were married, in the 70s at a way higher rate. But then they'll say welfare took black men out of the house. How, guys? That's what I'm saying. You got to think. And I'm trying, and it racks my brain. I'm like, man, that only makes sense. And you guys keep pointing to the Moynihan report. I did a review of it. I read it back and forth. I'm telling you, that wasn't a doctrine or anything. It was just a report done by a man. And he didn't understand matriarchy. We don't fit the criteria to be a matriarchy, guys. Black men have never been out of the house in the majority to present day, even though black women's children at a wedlock rate is 69.3%. I just told you guys, it was 24% back in the day, right? It's 69.3%. When most people hear that, they say black women have a children at a wedlock rate of 69.3%. That means black men aren't in the household. Not understanding that only 46% of black men have ever fathered children. And 55% of those black men, whether married or cohabitating, are in their children's lives 100% of the time. I keep recycling these statistics to try and use it as some sort of positive propaganda to get you guys to understand. Stop living under that lie that black men were not in the house. And then you couple that with that's why we are a matriarchy. If that's the case, and I'm telling you that black men have always been in the household, then it doesn't fit the criteria if that's all you're going off of. Because no time in history have black women ever out-earned black men, for one. They have never earned more businesses than black men, for two. Any other metrics that you can use, they have never had more people, in Congress and in the Senate and the state than black men. And this is not a competition. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to explain to the black men, when you guys run out there and say that we're a matriarchy based off of how you feel and what social media is telling you, you're wrong. And again, and I want to say this to the black men that's trying to tag other content creators, because they may feel different. I don't care. I done told y'all that. Every time you do that to try and cause some type of conflict, you tag a dude who thinks that we're in a matriarchy. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's his thoughts. I'm giving you guys facts. This is what I think and what I know based off of the statistics. Don't ever tag somebody under my post trying to cause an argument, especially if me and that dude that you guys are tagging doesn't have any beef. I don't have beef with people, but what you're trying to do, you're trying to start something. He feels different. Medium Man said this. What say you? Then that dude will jump out of the closet. You know what I'm saying? Jump off the top rope, do a response video. Well, this is where Medium Man is wrong. And then now I got to cut ties with that dude because it makes no sense. And that's the type of shit that I was talking about with black male content creators. When y'all do shit like this and you support people who will make a video based off of one thing that I say, and you never said anything positive about the other stuff. I've never seen you in my comment section. I've never seen you donate. None of that. But all I know is I'll get a prompt and I'm looking on my mentions and there's some dude that I've never knew existed and he's doing a video on me because somebody tagged him in one of my videos trying to cause an argument between black men. That's dumb. Right? We got to get better at that, man. And I'm trying to, put some standards in this place, especially on my platform, bro. Y'all got to get better at that, man. That's some I hate to use, women as an insult, but that's some whole shit. It seriously is, man. God, dog. I mean, are we like kids on the playground? What sense does that make, man? Let these people do what they need to do. It's good to have so many black men where you can pull things from that person, but what you do is you place a divide between me and that content creator. Now I can't rock with that dude because, for one, he didn't reach out to me. We didn't talk offline. None of that. Never heard of him. But now me and that dude can't collab, or me and that woman can't collab because you guys trying to start some mess. And I don't have time to be beefing with folks, man. What the hell I look like, going back and forth with some grown ass man on some platform, bro? That's not me. And listen, you ain't in my face. We good. Okay? So yeah, I'm just trying to explain to black men in particular, y'all got to stop this shit, man. I know some of this stuff may be entertaining, but you won't get that over here, bro. And I've seen the comments. Shout out to some of my moderators that lurk on pages and they'll see comments. Somebody will mention my name and they'll, see somebody in the comment section and, they'll say something crazy. I think I got 2 emails where people was like, yeah, man, Medium Man's content is boring. And then I'm looking in the chat and people like, man, why is this person blocked? And I'm like, well, one of my moderators sent me an email and they went ahead and blocked the person because that person was in somebody else's chat saying my content was boring. I'm like, bro, sometimes it's not going to be as entertaining as I can make it because I'm trying to educate. As you learn, I'm learning as well. But when you go on other people's platforms and you talk mess and then you come here and you like, man, Medium Man, why am I blocked? And I'm like, bro, let me see. I look in the email. I'm like, oh, okay. Here's a screenshot from a moderator. And they telling me that this person was in there talking mess. And then you come over here, man, I love what you do, Medium Man. Come on, bro. We grown here, man. Like, stop. Especially men. And that's why we're going to talk about the men today. But honestly, getting back to the point, I didn't know that there were so many black men that thought we were a matriarchy. And believe what you want to believe, bro. I don't care. But once you come on my platform and you start insulting, that's some whole shit. We grown men here. Nah, Medium Man, I don't agree with this. I think that we're matriarchy because of this, in my opinion. If you don't have facts, cool. You know, and I know YouTube, the people that was doing that, they got blocked, but they still watch my channel, but they can't comment because I hid them from the channel. And I know y'all watching. Just remember that for the next time you go on somebody else's platform and they're kind of like me, and they like, man, this dude don't go back and forth. He don't argue. He just lets you go. Think about what you did and how you broached the topic on my platform. I got a video out there called The Rule of 10. I reposted it. Watch it. I'm trying to protect y'all. I'm trying to protect my mental health as well. We grown men. Okay? Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We got to be better, man. We got black men. We got to be better. If we talk about the matriarchy and you just basing it off of like your anecdotal experience or your opinions, I'm not even gonna argue with you, bro. But just don't sit there and say it's the whole black community. Just say it's on your anecdotal experience. Where you from? What you think you saw, and this is how I grew up in my household. We're a matriarchy. That's perfectly fine. You can say that. I'm not gonna judge you, brother. But for the majority of black men in the black community, we are not a matriarchy, man. Just look at the statistics, okay? That's you. Just look at the statistics, okay? And ask yourself, like y'all been here, Pooh Man, Mona, y'all know, do I insult people and shit like that? Do we talking mess about people? Even in the chat. I try and keep everything cordial, man. If I see somebody going crazy, I just let you go. It's not my character. Okay? Some people were built for that. To go back and forth and talk mess and things like that. That's not me, bro. So if I'm giving you guys that same respect, give me the same respect. If that applies to you, evaluate what you're doing. Okay? If you that bitter or something like that and you feel that you got to try and curse at a dude, on social media, you need to, go to therapy. Seek therapy, bro. Damn. Jesus. A couple of my friends was talking about because I hit 50,000 subscribers. I was throwing around the idea of trying to do like a meetup or something. But I'm like, man, is it even worth it? If this is the type of shit that I'm gonna get to the meetup, dudes that don't know how to carry themselves, don't know how to wear a suit, don't know how to, conduct themselves as distinguished gentlemen, based off of what I see in the comments, talking mess about women for no reason when that ain't even the conversation. What sense would it make for me to put a bunch of bitter ass men in a room and try and talk about some positive stuff, give y'all some game, educate you, and all you thinking about is what black women doing wrong and you talking shit? So that's why I'm like, bro, if I ever do a meetup, man, it's got to be properly vetted. People got to have, steady careers. You know what I'm saying? You got to, have something going for yourselves, because it's not going to be just open to everybody. Because based off of what I see in these comments, when y'all disagree with something wrong with y'all. I think y'all just used to doing that on social media. And like I said, man, this is a benevolent dictatorship on my channel. You can do that. There's multiple channels where you can get that shit off, bro. You just ain't gonna have, you can't do it here if I catch it. Okay? So yeah, get that shit off somewhere else. But when you come over here, act right. All right? That's all I'm asking. Jesus.